cameras, so. Oh yeah.
Okay, thank you all for coming.
Oops, there's
You've been a
glare.
wonderful audience.
Does that mean we have to go?
Yes. So the first thing we wanted to do was to just fill you in on, there is a theme running through some of the food that's here today. It might not have been obvious, so I thought I'd better explain it. And we decided that the food for the party would be, the theme would be, Nancy's history, and it would be related to all the places she's lived in her life. So Nancy started off, Nancy was born, she was born right down, 2 miles from here at the Boston Hospital for Women, it was called,
Lying in with a uterine-shaped driveway.
Oh my God.
That we never know.
But her parents were living in Lynn at the time.
The city of Sin.
And what is Lynn known for as far as food is concerned?
Wait a minute. There's some. That's not necessarily true.
What?
Somerville is where.
No, the Durkee Company is located in Lynn.
Lynn, Mass, and Joan Durkee. Where's Joni and Debbie Stossel?
Yeah.
Joan Durkee.
Oh boy.
The daughter of the inventor.
And it still is the Durkee something or other company. The Durkee Mower Company, Lynn, Mass, 01902. Contains corn syrup, sugar, egg whites, and vanilla.
Yum. It's healthy.
Gluten-free.
No real food was sacrificed in
It's
that.
health food, right?
Yeah.
So that's and then Nancy and her family moved to Marblehead. And Joni suggested that the only thing she could remember from Marblehead was something that you had at for lunch in the high school.
On Friday.
On Friday. Leah has the item for the next step was when Nancy was at UMass.
Oh, well, it's in the kitchen, so we have brownies. These are not very exciting. I'm sorry. Those brownies.
Yeah. They're not that special.
They're not that special. They're gluten-free, but they're not that special. But anyway, brownies for this time at UMass.
And ever since.
And ever since. Actually, the one thing we didn't get that was symbolic was that Nancy and I met when Nancy was living in Brookline, so they really ought to have a corned beef sandwich or something.
Or bagels. Or,
a lot of this food came from Brookline, so that's close enough. And then we had our Hawaiian interlude, which I'm sure all of you know at least a little bit about, and that's why there's Mai Tais out there for drinks, and that's why there's tropical salad, tropical fruit salad, which Leah made. Yep. And then what's the next stop after?
Then we went to Newton.
Oh, then we went to Newton.
Oh, and there's,
Fire and wine.
Okay. Yeah, we went to Newton, and Newton is even less notable for food than Marblehead is. But Newton has a food named after it.
Yay. We should open
We
those.
will open these and try to use these up. And now we're in Jamaica Plain. And when we get to dessert, you'll find out about that because obviously when you're in Jamaica Plain, what do? You get ice cream from J.P. Licks, where the headquarters is right down the street.
Of course.
And there's one other food item. Where's Erica? Get what's in the fridge. It's on this shelf on the right. Erica went out of her way before she came. Erica came in from New York today for this. Cousin Erica.
Now you're talking.
So this is not only
Erica was worth
Sable. Don't put them on the main table.
Okay. Erica said, do I have to get enough for everybody? They said, you don't have that much money in the bank. This is strictly for Nancy.
That's a great birthday present.
So that's it.
Thank you. Wow.
Actually, David,
It's an exotic life I've
the
lived.
cake is representative of a Newton tradition as well.
Oh.
Of the birthday cakes for Leah and my daughter, who shared birthday parties for many, many
We did.
years. And when you cut into it, you will see why it is.
But it doesn't have Barbies.
A Claire and Leah cake.
Oh, it does not have Barbie sitting in it. No, there's a flower.
and there's, someone if they want to can turn the TV down in there. We're playing Three Stooges on a loop. And there's a lot of chocolate involved in various steps
Yeah,
of
the chocolate is a theme throughout.
Yeah.
Is there any meaning to the Three Stooges for this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her entire childhood.
I spent my entire childhood watching and memorizing the Three Stooges.
So, Ari and
Brain
Leah
cells were sacrificed.
have something to say, don't you?
And then, yeah,
And it's on the, because we're
technology here.
because we're technology advanced now. We
I don't know how to use this.
Can you read this?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about things.
Okay, so as you all know, you've known Nancy for a long time, but we have known her for a long time also, combined over half a century at this point. So we feel like we have a pretty good handle on her and what we can say about her.
And in fact, she met David when she was 23, so combined we've known her longer than he has. He had something to do with it, so.
So maybe someday she'll get to see us turn 60, and hopefully if she does, she still knows our names, we're hoping, and the names of the grandchildren that we know she's very patiently waiting for. Don't get too excited, they're on their way.
Yeah,
Not anytime soon.
you were 32, and I don't, you know, that's we have a few years.
So we all know that Nancy works with a variety of people every day, some of whom might be a bit challenging. But we feel we did our part to prepare her well to be dealing with people.
And whether it was cottage cheese shampoos at age 2, or Hunan Palace rice confetti at age 3, or the times when I've acted those ages more recently.
Or all the fun that I caused in my youth and teenage years, which I'm sure you've all heard.
And voices may have been raised, and it was always in good spirits and humor after a while. And we always learn from our mistakes.
So they always say that the family that stays together, and we do prove that point by occasionally all inhabiting one hotel room for the chance to bond, and of course because there's cross-country skiing to be had, and we have to do that in the cheapest way possible. So.
And when we're up in Maine together, and especially if it's raining and we're in something about the size of a hotel room, we manage not to kill each other, so that's nice too.
So Nancy has not only managed to raise 2 moderately successful, non-serial killer, non-criminal children, but as you all know, she has put up with Mr. Chief himself for 32 years going on 15 years.
Let's not forget about her other boyfriends. We have Jon Stewart.
And Barack Obama.
And just in case you thought that the flame of marriage needed some rekindling with an exotic trip, they have had recent adventures to London, Amsterdam, Hawaii, and they're going to Venice this fall. So,
although we're not gonna lie, we do wish we were part of one of those families where they brought the kids, first class on all the family vacations.
That doesn't happen. We did go to France.
And we went to Tahoe.
Jersey.
Oh, and a very expensive exotic 4-year vacation in Rochester, New York.
Oh, and St. Paul, Minnesota.
So thank you. But we do realize that we've been a little bit of an imposition at times, whether it was
dehydrating food for a 4-month Appalachian Trail
or hosting 10 homeless PERG employees for weeks at a time at the drop of a hat. Employees.
Or hosting 1 biological kid for 6 months at the drop of a hat.
Won't
happen again.
You all heard that.
But it's funny because, as you guys probably know, Nancy every so often will adopt a non-blood relative to come hang out for a couple of evenings.
Or weeks.
Or months.
Who's that?
Random people
The random
you
people
have.
that you pick up. Maybe not months. It's an exaggeration. Okay.
But it's, but I guess since they didn't put in their 18 years, they must get some kind of pass.
So we're happy and proud to see our mom reclaiming her hippie street cred in JP, as opposed to her yuppie cred in June. And we haven't smelled anything funny around here recently, although if you want to ask her later what she remembers from Amsterdam and what she doesn't remember from Butterfield, feel free to get those stories.
When we were young, we would always, if we have a discussion, okay, kids, just make sure you don't smoke marijuana, it's bad. Was it really that bad, Mom? Well, I mean, I guess we had, and then she'd go on and tell these stories about how there'd be trash bags full of marijuana coming into the dorms that you had. Sure, whatever, Mom. So I went off to college, and there were a couple of hotheads on my hall, and they said, oh, there's this movie, it's about someone from Massachusetts, you should watch it. So we'll watch it. It's called Blow. I don't know if anyone's seen it. about a guy who gets into importing a lot of cocaine, but he started with marijuana. And he found out there was a market disconnect. There was a lot of really good weed on the West Coast and a market on the East Coast, and it was filling up RVs with trash bags for all the marijuana in 1969 and 1970. And so,
To
to
UMass.
UMass.
Oh, I know exactly who that
Yeah, well, there's a movie about him, and you were probably in...
You have got to be
You're practically famous.
Oh, yeah. So when I saw that, I realized that your story checked out.